Hello, everyone. Welcome back, and welcome to my brief let's play of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Now, I totally forgot to do this yesterday. Yeah, I just gotten the news that it had launched, and if I had remembered yesterday, it would have been able to record this at the time it unlocked. Yeah, it's slipped my mind. But whatever, I'm doing this now, so going to this enjoy. Okay. Mm-hmm. So how are y'all doing? Hey, yeah. How many of you are familiar with the Ace Attorney series? Is it autosave? Yeah. Mm. Yeah, hold on. I wanna listen to it with a proper. Mm, er, wanna listen to it with the proper thingamajiggy. I can't think of it, so hold on. Hi again. Was just grabbing my wireless headphones, which is the thingamajiggy I mentioned, and so yeah, let's okay. Yeah, check this one out. Kind kind of into the Ace Attorney series a bit. I played a few other games like the first one starring Phoenix Wright, and watched a playthrough of the second, dabbled in a couple others, played through the fifth one, Dual Destinies, and the crossover with Professor Layton, and that was cool. Yeah. Mhm. Oh yeah. Yeah, autoplay. Yeah. Oh, I'm a fan of the Phoenix Wright My Little Pony crossover that is Turnabout Storm, cool fan made project, and the sequel to that, Elements of Justice. It's fun, but I'm in this into this official uh, yeah, official whole game that gonna do this today, not talk about fan stuff. Wait, how's this?
The Empire of Japan. After opening its doors, a push for cultural transformation brought great waves of Western influence to this far eastern island nation. The revolution washed over the land, making life in the capital exciting and unsettling. It was a period of great change, and some was swept away by the tide.
Someone was shot. Are they going to reveal who it was right at the start?
But for one man, the turbulence of that era was just the beginning of an extraordinary story.
Yeah, I think. Oh no, was it him? Him who was the attorney we follow? Episode 1, The Adventure of the Great Departure. So yeah, this is a distant prequel of the Ace Attorney games. 22nd November, 8:43 a.m. Supreme Court of Judicature, Defendants, Antechamber 5. I still can't believe it. Still can't believe this is happening. How can it be that just beyond the doors to this quiet little chamber is the highest court in Japan, waiting to decide my fate? Huh. Something's going on. What? Oh, no, nothing. Save your glares. Murder! Sorry. Yeah, and my character is speaking. My character is the first person. Hey, yeah. My name is Ryonosuke Naruhodo, or something like that. I'm a second-year student at the Imperial Yumi University. 3 days ago, I somehow found myself in the middle of a horrifying incident. And now here I am, awaiting my trial. That's enough. No, that's enough. He's not obliged to listen to such abuse, officer. And who are you? I'm this man's lawyer. I'll be defending him today. Lawyer? Yes. And until the judge has given his verdict on the case, no one has the right to treat him as a criminal. So you will hold your tongue. Technicalities. Look at you. You haven't even graduated yet. And yet, I still seem to know better than you how a court officer should behave. Right, Ryonosuke? Oh, yes, of course. Sorry. What are you apologizing to me for? Oh, I suppose that wasn't my fault. But really, Kazuma, I never meant to drag you into this. I'm sorry. Oh, there you go again, apologizing. Just like always. Though I must say, you've been all over the newspapers these past few days. Yumei University professor murdered in cold blood by student. But obviously, you didn't actually do it, did you? Of course not! You have to believe me, I didn't do it! I could never... I could never murder someone. Then there's nothing to worry about. Straighten yourself up, hold your head high. You mean... I believe you. I know you're innocent, Ryonosuke. I'll just call him Ryu for short. Kazuma Sogi, my best friend. Also in the second year at Yumi University. But he's far more clever than I. A star student, in fact. He's even a qualified lawyer. Impressive, considering... It's not that impressive. The very concept of lawyers is only a few years old. Here in Japan, anyway. Yeah, about time we get to these games stateside. Yeah, they've been Japan only for a while. These prequel games. My qualifications don't mean much, yet. You said exactly the same thing 3 days ago. But I'm proud to have a friend like you, Kazuma. Truly. 3 days ago. Yes, that's when all this started. Congratulations, Kazuma. It looks like you're going to get to study abroad at last. I know. I've been forever dreaming of this day. Finally, those government elites have acknowledged my academic achievements and successes in court. So you'll be representing Japan as you immerse yourself in the most sophisticated legal system in the world. I'm really happy for you and proud as your friend. Yes, this is a visual novel type game, so a lot of text and story. As long as you enjoy this, I'll be fine. There's not a soul in the university who doesn't know Kazuma's name. He's a living legend. It's like there's some mysterious aura billowing around his temple. I'll check this push to Y to browse the text history. Press start for show options. Text box transparency. Wait time. Leader. I want to bring about change in our own legal system. That's why I have to cross the ocean to see the real thing with my own eyes. The heart of the British Empire. I wish I could see it too. And come with me. We'll have a wild time tearing up the streets of Her Majesty's city of London together. If only it were that simple. Oh dear, look at the time. I better be gone. Alright, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a while longer. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. Don't tell me, McDonald's. I'm kidding. Sherry's? Elmer's? Those are good places. Cracker Barrel? Okay, that's nothing. See you in English class tomorrow then, partner. Yeah, just enjoy this with me. It was straight after that. That's when it happened. Now we're back in the courtroom. Asogi, may have a word. Oh, these characters. Professor, I didn't know you were coming. Wow, this case has personal significance to me. But never mind that for now. Asogi, you should go immediately to the judge's chambers. To His Excellency's chambers? Why? He was looking for you before. You advocating for the defense in this trial was a sudden decision. Seems there may be some confusion about procedures today as a result. Who is this man? I feel as though I've seen him at university before. I see. I'll go at once then. I shall accompany you. Alright then, Ryo. I'll see you in the courtroom. Yes, thanks. Thanks, Kazuma. Ugh, this is awkward. If I may. Yes, sorry. You must be the defendant. Ryunosuke Naruhodo, I believe. Yes, that's right. My name is Yujin Mikotoba. I'm a professor of forensic medicine at Yume University. Ah, Professor Mikotoba. I've heard that name from Kazuma before. As I recall, he's been pushing to get the government to agree to Kazuma studying abroad. Asogi has told me about you. You and he are best friends, I understand. As such, I feel you should know. Know what? Well, as you've no doubt heard, Asogi has been granted permission to go and study in Great Britain. However, if he should fail to defend you in today's trial, I'm afraid that that permission will be revoked and never granted again. What? As I suspected, you were unaware of this. I had a feeling Asogi may have chosen not to tell you. He's agreed to defend me, knowing that if he fails, his dreams will be shattered. But I don't understand. Why would the government do such a thing? The administration has to choose from a large number of applicants for overseas study. It's very difficult to persuade them to grant permission, even in the most favorable of circumstances. I don't believe it. But I didn't do it. I swear it. I'm not a murderer. I'm sure that's true. Nevertheless, I can assure you that proving your innocence will be no easy task. You see, there are certain peculiarities about today's trial. Sorry, what do you mean? You'll soon understand once proceedings get underway. But, then what should I do? Well, naturally, I'm not going to suggest doing anything that could lead to a conviction. Right, so... As soon as the trial starts, the judge will pose a certain question to the defense. When that happens, you must answer before anyone else. You must say, I do. I do? But what will the question be? Surely not... Do you accept the accusations brought before you? Of course not. Defendant! Court is about to begin. Proceed to the courtroom at once. It would seem our surreptitious discussions are to be cut short. So allow me to summarize. Kazuma Sogi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. Of course, as a defendant, the final decision is yours. What are you waiting for? Do you want to be found guilty for failing to appear? Get moving. There's no point in anyone advocating for the likes of you anyway. This is it. If this trial goes badly, Kazuma's dreams of studying abroad are over. And what's more, I'll be found guilty of murder. And so, with absolutely no idea of what lay ahead, I embarked on that unforgettable trial. My one and only chance of proving my innocence. The trial that would decide my destiny. And the future of the franchise. 22nd of November, 9 o'clock a.m. Supreme Court of Judicature, Courtroom 2. So this is the courtroom. The Supreme Court of Judicature. No court in the land has more power. I don't much like the look of those people standing in the public gallery. Oh, that was an autosave marker there. Lots of military and other uniforms in there. The powers that have demanded that this be a secret trial. A secret trial? A trial that's closed to ordinary members of the public. Only military and government officials may attend. What? But why? That'll become clear in time. But for now, you need to concentrate, Ryu. It's about to begin. Oh, it's that guy. Ancestor of Winston Payne. I mean, the prosecutor, not the judge here. The court will now hear the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. The prosecution is ready, Your Excellency. As is the defense. Before we begin, there's one point of order I would like to confirm. Yesterday evening, the defense made a last-minute request for a change of advocate. That's correct, Your Excellency. I made the request myself. Normal procedure is for the defendant's advocacy to be decided 2 days prior to trial. As this is an unusual circumstance, I am obligated to ask for final confirmation now. Who advocates for the defendant in this trial? This is it. This must be the question. Who's going to defend me? That's a question that Professor meant. But then, if I say I do, then my friend won't defend me and he's not at risk of failing. Need to answer quickly. What should I do? Your Excellency, no confirmation is needed. As I'm standing here beside the defendant, I hope it's clear. Yes! What is the meaning of this unruly outburst? I would like to inform the court that I, Ryunosuke no Horo, will be defending myself. You'll be... What? What? Something. What are you playing at, Ryunosuke? Professor Mikotoba has told me everything just now before the trial. He did what? Said that your dreams of studying abroad would be dashed if you were to lose. How sad. Means you don't have faith in me. Think I won't be able to get you off. No, it's not that, really. It's just that, on the off chance that things don't go well for me, I could appear to be the reason that you... Yes. I knew that's how you'd feel. Which is exactly why I decided not to tell you. Professor Mikotoba shouldn't have stuck his nose in. Very well. The court hereby recognizes the defendant's desire to advocate for himself in today's trial. Well. Has the accused admit defeat already? Renouncing his own counsel. Really? Yep. The classic objection. Good back then as it is now. Make no mistake, counsel. This merely shows that the defendant's innocence is so apparent, he's confident he can speak for himself. Isn't that so, Naruhodo-san? Oh, yes, exactly. Exactly what I wasn't thinking. I'm not confident at all. Sweaty bullets. In fact, my mind's a complete blank. I realize you're in charge now, but still, try not to look so bewildered. Well, for a mere university student to be brought before the Supreme Court, you must have perpetrated a most heinous crime indeed. As you are no doubt aware, this is the Supreme Court of Judicature of Japan. Accordingly, the very highest standards of conduct are expected of all present. Do I make myself clear, Defendant Naruhodo? Yes, Your Excellency. It is therefore my duty to assess your competence for the task you have undertaken. My competence? What does that mean? He's questioning your ability to do the job. Well, he can't be questioning it more than I am. I'm a bit out of breath. Wonder if I might want to take a little break soon. Rest my voice a little. Yeah, pause the recording and then resume a little bit later. Not yet. So let's start with the very simplest of questions. Yes! Yeah, it would have been nice to have a full voice acting for this game. I mean, especially, I'm even just spoiled on the fan-made stories like Turnabout Storm I mentioned before. That had full voice acting. Different fans doing that. Why don't they do it on this? I know it's a lot of dialogue, but come on. Yes. Kindly state before the court the name of the victim in this case. Well, that's easy enough. I've heard his name more times than I'd care to remember. But wait. Ugh, I'm so nervous. I can't even remember that. What was it again? Ryunosuke. Let me guess. Your mind's gone blank. You know me so well. All the relevant information for this case can be found in the court record. But I can't even find that. It's simple. You can access the court record with a press of R. If you ever find you forgotten something, just consult that. It's all in there. I just have press R for the court record. Alright, there's no time to lose. And with that, I push R and show the this list of evidence you collected. Trying to search people with R. Find details about the victim in here. When you're done, just press B to go back. Yeah. So remember, everything to do with the current case can be found in the court record. Now, you'd better not keep His Excellency waiting any longer. Go on. Actually, maybe I should a little to review the court and to rest my voice, if you'll excuse me. Okay, I'm back. I took a little snack break and took a little while. I can't find the cookies though. I had some cocoa instead. Anyway, I'll continue with this. I'll look over the court records, my stuff, and the people involved. You can see the university collar pin here. Collar on the uniform jacket. Here's the report. Describes how the person died and stuff. Death call occurred a little after 2 p.m. and was caused by loss of blood from gunshot to the chest. The bullet did not pass through the victim's body. Crochet to look into a victim, John H. Wilson, male, British. Time of death, 19 November, shortly after 2 p.m. Cause of death, single bullet fired at close range. Fatal hemorrhage from arterial trauma. No X-wound. November, John H. Wilson. Look at the people. Kasuma Soji, a second year at the Imperial Yumi University. He's my best friend, and despite being a student, a qualified defense lawyer as well. Eugene Mikotoba, a medical school professor at the Imperial Yumi University. He's an authority in forensic medicine, and Kasuma's mentor. Hi. No profile for my character. Takatsuchi Aochi, the lead prosecutor of this case, who would appear to have little love for the changes the Cultural Reformation has brought about. Spoiled, rotten, rookie killers. John H. Wilson, the victim of this case. He was a visiting professor of medicine at Yumi University from the British Empire. Yeah. I seem to be more alert after that, Coco. Yeah. Okay, no longer. Okay, sir. It was John H. Wilson. Find the victim of the people. Press X to a prison right now. Yep, as it says. Yes! The victim's name was Dr. John H. Wilson. Well, at least you can remember the name of an esteemed member of your own university. Dr. Wilson was a visiting professor from England, invited to Yumi University 3 years ago. Indeed, which is the reason why this case has such profound implications. The British Empire is at present our country's most valuable foreign ally. And as most of you will be aware, we have just signed a new treaty together after lengthy negotiations. There can't be anyone who has heard of the Anglo-Japanese Treaty of Friendship and Navigation. And yet, despite these delicate circumstances, the blood of an Englishman has been spilled on our soil. You two are both undergraduates at Imperial Yume University, are you not? Murdering a professor from the very institution that provides your education. Have you no honor? But I didn't do it. This case is coming under great scrutiny from our allies on the other side of the world. The court therefore wishes for a speedy resolution to this matter. In other words, our feeble government is scared of upsetting England's policymakers. And you're convenient and expendable scapegoat to blame for this crime. So that's why this trial has these unusual peculiarities, is it? Peculiarities. Anything to that? I don't know. Exactly. Our government needs to convict someone as quickly as possible. All because the victim was an Englishman. Yes, Dr. Wilson was an Englishman. But nationalities and treaties won't make any difference for me here. The fact is, I was there at the scene of the crime. And did he not have a gun? Did my character not have a gun in hand at the flashback? I think. I don't know. This just happened to have one in his hand. Maybe the real killer took or put it there. Or maybe it was his own weapon. Oh dear, look at the time. I better be going. Alright, I'll see you later. You go stay and enjoy this place a little longer. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. Again, Applebee's or Sherry's? I'm sorry. Okay, enough. See you in the English class tomorrow then, partner. And he fades into the ether. I'm kidding. The British Empire. Wow, it's incredible to think. Huh? Wait. Oh. I've seen that man at university. I'm sure he's a visiting professor from Great Britain. I don't know his name, but still. I should go and say hello. Oh no, is this where he gets framed? So I went over to the professor's table. And introduced myself to Dr. Wilson. Now then, let me pose my next question to you, defendant Naruhodo. Yes, Your Excellency. How did this professor of medicine, Dr. John H. Wilson, lose his life? State before the court the cause of death. The cause of death. Cause of death. Well, obviously that was Ryunosuke. Remember that in court, every assertion must be backed up by evidence. By evidence? But how? Find the piece of evidence that shows the professor's cause of death and select present. Do it now. Examine. Yeah, just showing them my homework, it doesn't. What's in my never mind. This is this will still show I'm competent enough. Yes. Well, According to this document, the victim suffered a hemorrhagic death due to gunshot trauma. Learn to read, you imbecile. That's a post-mortem report, I take it. Sorry, yes, that's right. The post-mortem report. In the West, a doctor dissects corpses to identify the cause of death in an autopsy. But here in Japan, a police officer merely inspects the body and draws conclusions that way. Oh, I see. As long as I'm not going to be tested on any of this later. This is a so-called photographic print of the scene of the crime. This is a so-called photographic print of the scene of the crime. You can clearly discern scorch marks around the bullet hole produced by the powder explosion. In other words, we should assume that the victim was shot at close range. Thank you, counsel. The court will accept this modern scientific evidence into the court record. Right. The photographic printed victim has been entered into court record. Shot with the front of the chest. Murder mysteries. Ooh. So that's a photographic print. Well, that's something I've never seen before. Oh, really? Where are you from? It's clearly superior to a drawing. The detail is incredible. Very well. I'm satisfied with your answers. Oh, really? Thought you would give me a third question. Oh, well, I'll take it. Let us start the trial. Certainly, Your Excellency. So, without further ado, in order to better appraise the court with the facts of the case, the prosecution hereby calls its first witness. Was there at the scene of the crime when it happened? This is it then. Think I may have worked out what the professor had in mind. The professor? You mean Dr. Mikotoba? Yes, clearly you're the defense lawyer today, not me. But that doesn't mean... Well, I can still act as your assistant. Ah, of course. When he was speaking with me before, he simply said, Kazuma Soji must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. He really has been sticking his oar in, hasn't he? Maybe, but any help you can give me would be greatly appreciated, Kazuma. Well, my first piece of advice is, rein in that crazy look of bewilderment and control the cold sweats. Only if I rein in that crazy headband and control the cold stares first. Burn. Okay. Oh, waiter. Not the Black Butler. Witness, state your name and occupation for the court, please. Of course. My name is Satoru Hosonaga. I'm the head waiter at a Western-style restaurant called La Carnival. Blood on his cheek. What? Bite something? He's immediately sus. Are you alright? You seem to be coughing up some, It's a regular occurrence. It doesn't really bother me. But really should. As everyone knows, the capital's southeastern corner was developed for foreign visitors some years ago. It's become a very fashionable district now, full of hotels to accommodate overseas guests. The grim crime occurred in one of the district's so-called restaurants, an Occidental eatery, 3 days ago. Yes. Understood, Hosonaga-san. You will kindly tell the court everything you can about the incident. At once, sir. And no petty interjections from the aspiring lawyer boy, please. Oh, perspiring, maybe, but aspiring? It was just after 2 p.m. on the day in question. We have few diners at that time of day. The lunchtime rush was over, and there were only 3 tables still occupied. Hold on. After 2 p.m., 2 diners, lunchtime rush, 3 tables. That fits in with my memory of it too. There was hardly anyone else in the place. It was when I was in the kitchen. Put away crockery and cutlery. A gunshot rang out, so I hurried out to the dining area to see what had happened. I found the victim, an English gentleman slumped in his chair. Standing immediately beside him, gun in hand, was the accused university student. What? Hold on, let me clarify something here. But you didn't agree. You didn't just agree there with a yes, did you? Or does yes mean something else in where you're from? Anyway. While I did pick up a gun that I found lying on the floor beside the professor, I didn't shoot him. I believe I asked you to refrain from petty interjections. The court wishes to listen to a witness's report of what he saw, you amateur. But the next time you interrupt at an inappropriate time, you will be penalized, defended Naruhodo. Don't worry, Ryunosuke. You'll have your chance to fight back. For now, we must quietly listen to the witness. I may confirm one point, waiter. Standing beside the victim with a gun in his hand was the same man we see here in court today? Still sus. Somehow. Yes, without question. I see. And apart from the accused, was there anyone else standing beside the victim? No. There's no one else around that table but the deceased Englishman and the university student. Huh? Wait, what did he just say? There was no one else around that table. What's the matter, Ryunosuke? Ryu, I mean. That's just not right. When I went over to Dr. Wilson to say hello, there was a woman sitting opposite him at his table. Really? That's not something the waiter could have missed. I've been warned about interjecting, but still, what should I do? Yeah. I'm supposed to wait till the... No, I'm supposed to wait till the... Oh, I'm allowed to speak first. I can cross-examination and present an objection if I have evidence. But anyway, I should wait and see. I desperately want to say something, but I was told not to interject. Ryunosuke, if your parents tell you to study, you're the kind of man who would diligently get to work, aren't you? I suppose I am. I'd never have gotten into Yuma University otherwise. But you can't just always follow the rules in life, you know. Oh, great lesson, kids. Always follow things. If you don't say what you want to say right now, you'll seriously regret it when you're found guilty. Alright, you've scared me. I won't forget that piece of advice in a hurry. And there is something I want to say. I'm just going to shut my eyes and say it. Yes. Just a moment, please. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone that day. I'm sure of it. There was a lady sitting with him at the same table. Dear me, what are we going to do with you? With your blatant disregard for court proceedings, I'm beginning to wonder if you're not a fraud. Could it be that the accused, this mere student, is not a real lawyer after all? But I'm sure of what I saw. Hosonaga-san, is there any chance you're mistaken? Perhaps your memory of events is hazy? No. Sus. The deceased gentleman came to the dine alone. I don't believe it. What's wrong? I actually have a rough plan at the restaurant as it was that day. Please have a look if you'd like to. If you drew it, then I can't take your word alone. Let me see. Sketch of the establishment's layout drawn by yourself, I presume. That's right. I am afraid I used the back of my business card. It was a turbulent situation. However, as you can see, the gentleman in question was seated alone. Wow, you're clearly a very conscientious waiter. Thank you, sir. The court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence. Oh, well... Is there a problem? Are you sus? Hand the plan to the court officer at once. Of course. Here you are. What was that about? It's been completely calm and collected until now. Something certainly seems to have shaken him. Oh, wait. I don't know what this coughing's about. So, the court has now heard a precis of the case. Yes, at the moment the gunshot was heard in the restaurant. The only person in close proximity to the victim was the defendant on trial today. It seems we are looking at a black and white case here. Defendant Naruhodo. Yes, Your Excellency. If you admit your guilt at this stage, the court is willing to look mercifully upon you. In other words, you may have small reprieve in terms of your inevitable punishment. I called this waiter as an unsworn witness in order to explain the details of the case to the court. But I must warn the defense, you fear or determined to pursue matters further in this trial? The prosecution has decisive evidence from sworn witnesses who were present at the scene of the crime. What do you think I should do, Kazuma? What do you mean? Well, I'm going to be found guilty one way or another, it seems. Wouldn't it be sensible to plead guilty at this stage? Hope for a more lenient sentence? Give me this look. Everyone keeps telling me that this trial is unusual, about these peculiarities. You said it. Professor Mikotoba said it. So has the judge and the prosecution. I'm scared of what lies ahead if I push this. As I said from the outset, I believe you're innocent. I trust you. And yet, despite knowing that, you're willing now to throw that trust back in my face? Is that it? What? If the accused is in fact innocent, then a defense lawyer is duty bound to prove that innocence by whatever means necessary. Are you just going to abandon that duty? Are you going to give up on yourself? The battle hasn't even begun yet, Ryonosuke. What? The defense pleads not guilty, Your Excellency. We invite the prosecution to stop making empty threats and bring out its witnesses. Then we'll see how decisive this evidence really is. Indeed. Prosecutor Ouchie, please continue with proceedings.
Well, you were warned. The young can be so reckless. You know, many call me a saint, but I can't be a devil when I want to be. In a few short moments from now, that dumbstruck young mouth of yours will be silenced forever. The prosecution calls its next witnesses.
Very well. Officer, bring forth the witnesses at once. Should I stop right around now? Oh, well, just see the witnesses here.
Witnesses, kindly state your names and occupations for the court.
No, sir. Yes, sir. The Great Nippon Imperial Army Sergeant Yoshinosa reported for duty, sir. Myself, I find employee as a purveyor of fine articles of antiquity from the efflorescence of our nation, Nippon, and conduct my trade from Rasute, a humble premises. He's in the 2nd District, Kyoryo Koretsuda, at your service. An antique dealer and a soldier? What an unusual pairing.
Both of these gentlemen were present at the restaurant on the day in question.
They must be the diners at the other table that the waiter mentioned. Myself, I habitually take heed to the most exquisite aroma, the establishment in question, always past noon, and not infrequently converse with interested parties regarding the curios with which I make my business. I can't understand a word that old man is saying. He's an antique dealer, and it sounds like he's a regular at La Carnival. He seeks out potential customers who may have an interest in antiques and tries to sell his wares to them. He obviously targets La Carnival because it's a high-class restaurant with rich clientele. Yeah, something tells me it's not Sherry's or Elmer's or Applebee's. Yeah, not a branch there. Right, I see. Although, to be honest, that sergeant looks more like he'd be a seller rather than a buyer.
Now, you both witnessed the precise moment of this most atrocious incident. Is that correct?
Affirmative! The enemy unit was seen attacking the foreigner in what can only be described as an act of war. Sir! It was that black uniformed rogue infantryman over there who unloaded his firearms, sir.
This man's as impossible to understand as the other.
But I'm almost sure I heard a strange noise during that last thing he said. You mean that creak that sounded like it came from the prosecutor? So, this is a decisive evidence that the prosecution was threatening. The soldier is claiming that he actually saw the precise moment you shot the victim dead.
Yes.
Well, are you starting to feel uncomfortable?
If I'm honest, I was feeling uncomfortable from the start.
Now, the court will hear your formal testimony, please. And though that will be... you'll state everything you saw at the precise moment that the incident occurred. Sir, yes, sir! Standing by ready to report, sir. That sound again. Unsavory memories of a most acerbic afternoon. what the witnesses saw. And I think I'll stop the recording right here if you don't mind. And thank you for joining me as I check out this new game I got. And, and just try to get into it and join in it. Yeah, these uh, courtroom dramas. Yeah, yeah. Again, if you hope you if you got in if you came this far, you should be right with this. A lot of dialogue and little gameplay. It's gonna see more of this gameplay later. Besides looking through the court evidence, I'll be cross cross examining the witnesses and pointing out objections. Stating your objections, finding the truth stuff. It's a it's a linear story. Well, hey, yeah, I think that'll. Yeah, thank you for joining me again. So yeah, resume this next time.